What's going on, everybody? I'm coming to you from courtside here at the Target Center. We are just under 30 minutes ago until tonight's national championship game between South Carolina and UConn. I'm going to give you kind of a view of what my view will be like tonight. So, not too far away. You can see some of the local guys down there, and of course, you see that beautiful big jumbotron. But the guys, to give you kind of an idea of how many people are here, I mean, this place is still filling up as we are just about 30 minutes away until the game starts up. So, I mean, plenty of people here tonight for tonight's game. So, if you guys have any last minute questions, let me know. Hope you guys have been enjoying all the coverage back in Columbia. It's been a lot of fun being out here. I want to give a big thank you to my boss, Brian Shoemaker, for allowing us to come out here and investing in women's basketball so we can give you guys hopefully a unique coverage that you're not getting anywhere else. I'm going to try to see if you guys have any questions. I'm going to go through the side. We appreciate you guys tuning in right now. Russell Moore and the Lady Gamecocks will roll tonight. It's going to come down to doing the little things, Russell. I mean, we know what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to being able to capitalize at the rim, finishing their layups, and being smart with the basketball. These are two things that, when you look back, not just this entire season, when you go back to the last couple of years, those have been the Achilles heels of this team. They need to be able to do the little things. I mean, there's really no magic formula. You're going up against a very good UConn team. I mean, there's a reason why both these teams are here, right? This is the best of the best. Scrolling down, eating the pregame unit for good luck. We like to hear that, Benjamin. We'll turn this around. You see USC taking the court right now for some pregame. I'd like to be able to show you guys more, but I don't want to get myself in trouble of not being able to, what I can show and what I can't show from a video standpoint. But, just to be able to answer some of your questions, Benjamin, eating a pregame unit for good luck, that's always a good thing. And guys, if you're on Twitter, be sure to check out the tweet that I just had. We're going to give away a $20 Bojangles gift card to the person that can come closest to predicting the combined final score tonight. So I'm not saying, like USC 68, UConn 60. No, the combined total score. So in that case, that would be 128 points. So do that. And if USC wins, I'm going to pick some additional winners to win some Bojangles gift cards as well. So I usually don't like to, on Gamecock Central, promote the other stuff that I do with that. But since, it involves giving away some free food, and this is the big one tonight, I certainly will mention that. So be sure to check that out. Howard Newton, make sure to mix in some waters. Well, hopefully we don't have to mix in some waters. Hopefully South Carolina is able to get the win tonight. You guys will be mixing in some other things. And if you haven't seen already, we have it on Gamecock Central. I have it on my Twitter account. The line right now outside of Village Idiot in 5 points, that Divine location, it is stretched all the way back to where Saluda Ave meets Divine. That's how far back that line is just to get inside of Village, and it's already packed. Scrolling through Pamela, Gamecocks. We've heard some Gamecock chants already. So plenty of Gamecock fans here today. Had a chance to actually catch up with Gamecock football coach Shane Beamer, who brought his entire family to the team hotel earlier today to be able to be part of the team send-off. So Coach Beamer and the Beamer family, they took the Gamecock hat off as being a coach, and they're all fans here today showing support for Don and this team. Tim, go Cox. Will, go Chicks. Rhonda, game, and some more Gamecocks. Can the ladies get it done, John asked. John, I think, look, when you look at the two teams that South Carolina could have gone up against, whether it be Stanford, whether it be UConn, this is not any disrespect to the Huskies. We know how talented this team is, not just this season, but historically. You knew that going up against Stanford with that height would probably create a little bit more problems for South Carolina. Because USC likes to play inside out. They want to be able to get the ball down to Aaliyah, and that's where the offense starts. They can either obviously get it done in the paint or Aaliyah's going to dish it out. They like to play inside out. UConn, from a height standpoint, they don't have the same height as Stanford. So I think from a matchup standpoint, it's better for South Carolina, but at the same time, too, you're going up against arguably the greatest college basketball coach of all time. Regardless of what you feel about Gino, he's arguably the greatest coach of all time for women's basketball. And, look, I know some people are tired of hearing about Paige Beckers, but she's a great player. I think that's the matchup to look at tonight. What is Bree Beal going to be able to do? Because for most of the night, she will be most likely on Paige. That is going to be a heck of a matchup. I know we want to talk about Aaliyah going up against Paige. That's not the matchup. Those two aren't going to be on each other. The matchup is Paige going up against Breville. And of course, Aaliyah has to have another phenomenal game. I mean, shoot, she was close to posting 2020 in terms of points and rebounds last game. So you're looking for her to be able to do the same tonight. T. Thompson, hey, Mike, how you doing too? Kevin Taylor, Cox, Peter, how's the vibe among the team pregame? It feels loose. I mean, it feels loose. I mean, going back to yesterday, if you guys had an opportunity to see some of the videos that we posted on Gamecock Central, they're very loose. And it's the same feeling today. Don Staley was very loose, just dancing around. And I mean, this is what we've seen from this team, not just this weekend, but all season, just being themselves. I think that's the biggest thing. I think having this opportunity to be in the Final Four last year, you didn't have that same feel, right? Because they were in the bubble. You have a true experience, and I know Zaya Cook talked about that earlier in the week. But what you did have an opportunity to do yesterday is be able to get that feel and be able to see people. And obviously, they had that opportunity too in the Final Four matchup the other day too. So they've been able to get that feeling, and they don't look tense. I mean, only time will tell once the game tips off if they will play loose. But at least so far, just judging how they look right now in pregame and judging how they looked yesterday and that open practice, they look pretty loose. Gamecock Chuck, we need solid guard play and Boston to dominate the paint. No questions about it. No questions about it. I mentioned how Bree Beal's going to be a big part of this team tonight and just what she does from a defensive standpoint against Paige Beckers, but you need your guards. I mean, you're absolutely right, Chuck. You need to be able to protect the basketball. This team, right, as good as Aaliyah Boston is, as good as some of these other players are, it all starts with the guard play. You need good guard play. So if they can be able to protect the ball tonight and be able to be smart, starting with Zaya Cook, starting with Destiny Henderson, starting with Sanaya Rivers, what we saw from her this past game, getting a lot of playing time. You need to be able to be smart at the guard position. Tony Belt, Gold Lady Gamecocks. Brenda Wells Simpson, just take care of the ball. Brenda, you're spot on. You are spot on. Mary, let's go, ladies. This is what you have worked for. Bring it home. No question. This is, and I'm not going to say if they don't win it, it's a failure. It's a disappointing season. To be able to get to this point, obviously, is a testament to what this team was able to do after how close they were last season. But, you want to be able to finish it. This is what everyone expected in Columbia. It's what a lot of people across the college basketball world expected. South Carolina to get to this point. So, to be the best, you got to beat the best. You're going up against arguably the best women's basketball program in history, right up there with Tennessee, obviously, with what Gino Uriam and the Huskies have been able to do in his time in Connecticut. Scrolling down, Janine, go Gamecocks. Bob Stanley, 133. I'll keep that in mind, Bob. John, we have the advantage inside. I'd say they have the advantage more so. Hey, look at this. Guys, Alyssa Lang popping on. GC Lang. GC Lang. I said GC Lang.
I'll take GC Lang. That works.
I'll scroll down.
What are you talking about?
Oh, we're just talking about the game tonight. And I told him, I said, obviously inside out's the big thing tonight. Bree Beal, I feel like, is the real match. Everyone wants to talk about Aaliyah and Paige, but I think it's going to be Bree and what she does against Paige. Anything you're watching?
After Friday's performance by Bree Beal on Haley Van Lith, my confidence is through the roof in the ability to guard Paige Beckers. It's going to be tough. No one's really been able to do it, sort of like Aaliyah Boston. We've asked the question all year long. How do you stop her? It's difficult to do that against Paige. But, man, Bree Beal's been playing lights out. Victoria Saxton, too, doesn't get enough love.
Oh, she got snubbed in Greensboro. Yes. Post that double-double to clinch it.
Absolutely. So there's so many good matchups in this game, but I think top to bottom, South Carolina's roster is too good to not win this game.
And after the game, I know you got to get ready. Where can people watch all the post-game stuff? Because I know you're going to be busy tonight.
We'll be all over SEC Network for post-game. Hoping to get Coach Daly and some players on with us. So after you're done watching Gamecock Central, come over to the
GC alum right here and USC alum. We appreciate it, Alyssa. Be sure to check out the SEC Network after the game. Regardless, win or loss, Alyssa and them have been doing just an outstanding job all season long. So look at that. Alyssa, I mean, they put her next to me. What is this? They mustn't. Times are tough right now. How did she get stuck in the same row as me? I mean, they're really like just putting her with the peasants now. No, we appreciate Alyssa taking time. But like I said, be sure to tune on over to the SEC Network. Of course, after you see us on Gamecock Central. I'm going to go back, though, guys, to some of the comments, but I wanted to be able to scroll down just in case anyone wanted to ask Alyssa a question right there. Appreciate her coming on by. Tommy, if you're getting a bunch of these points, I'm going to have to keep you guys in mind. This is not just a Twitter thing now. T, do you think Beal covered his page the entire game? I think we'll see it for most of the game. Certainly, you're going to have to give her a breather at some point. I'm not sure if you guys had an opportunity to view our exclusive story that we did with Bree and JC Horn, their relationship. Spoiler for people that don't know, they're dating. Former Gamecock defensive back, now Carolina Panthers corner. They gave us their blessing to be able to share that story and kind of just the mentality that they both have learned from one another. Because, I mean, you think about it, playing defensive back, playing the way that Bree Beal does from a defensive standpoint at guard, there's a lot of similarities with the angles that you take, right, to intercept the football or be able to come up with a steal when you undercut a pass. So great story. If you hadn't had a chance to see it, maybe head on over there right now or at halftime, go check it out. Some good stuff from both of them. JC Horn is in the building. Elshon Jeffrey, I was with him the other night. He's here. I saw Asia Wilson, who was outside of the team hotel. I don't know where she's sitting right now. Alex English is in town. Plenty of people, and if you're just joining us, Shane Beamer and the family flew in today as well. So plenty of big-name Gamecock administrators, coaches, athletes, former Gamecocks, they're all here. Harris Christides has been out and about showing his support. It's been awesome. It's been awesome to be able to see everyone. But T, going back to your question, I think that will be the main matchup, though. I feel like Bree will be on it for most of the night, but certainly you're going to have to give her breathers. And, you know, what does South Carolina decide to do when they take Bree out? I think Victoria Saxton has been another player that you can keep your eye on. You know, does she have the speed like Bree? No, but at the same time, too, Victoria has played outstanding, especially in the last couple of weeks we've seen going back to Greensboro. So I expect Victoria to also be in the mix to hopefully be able to slow down Paige when Bree does need to take a breather. Clay, how much were tickets? That's a great question, Clay. This is the beauty about going live, right? We can actually just pull up the phone and see what we got here. Let's go on the old SeatGeek or StubHub, right? See how much tickets are going for right now. I mean, I'll tell you what, this place is filling up. The upper deck, I mean, you guys know this though, right? Whether it's being at Colonial Life Arena, this is what you guys are accustomed to seeing. See if we can get that. Women's National Championship, Women's Basketball National Championship. I know this is so exciting, right? Pulling up my phone to be able to get you guys this information. I mean, you guys got to realize, right? We're 9 minutes from tip-off, so prices are going to go down. The cheapest one right now, though, is $75. So I'm assuming that they were about $100 or more earlier in the day. But obviously, as you get closer, those prices for those tickets will drop down. John, I'm confident. I just wanted your opinion. Appreciate it, John. Rhonda, they got this. I hope I'm saying this right. Lady, I'm apologizing. I'm going to say lady. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I probably missed it, but is Lamont there and sad? I haven't seen Lamont right now. Of course, he's doing everything he can from a recruiting standpoint. As I mentioned, Shane Beamer flew in this morning with his family. I wouldn't be shocked if Lamont's here, but personally, I have not seen him yet. But might check Twitter in a little bit. Maybe he's either watching it back home, but of course, he's busy. He's busy right now back home. Look at this. I'm sitting next. So we're live back in Columbia. I'm sitting next to a Connecticut guy. And how about this? I don't know if I was spoiled it. He's got connections with J.C. Horn's uncle. How about that? J.C. Horn's uncle is up in Connecticut. So going live right now, little thing right here. Michael, game. Everyone's doing the Gamecock chants. Himmel, let's go Gamecocks. Who's the X factor, Mike? I don't know if you missed it earlier. I think Bree Beal. I think Bree Beal's the X factor. Victoria Saxton, another one. The play that they have had defensively has been outstanding. I mean, Bree all season long, right? But that's the matchup. People can talk about Paige Becker and the Leo boss. It's Bree on Paige. It's Bree on Paige. And how much stamina can Bree have? Because she's been obviously a workhorse all tournament long, and she did a phenomenal job the other night against Kylie from Louisville, a player that was averaging over 20 points a game. And, you know, she was able to get some garbage points at the end for Louisville, but she was still held to 9 points. And Bree was on her for most of the night. So I think that is the big one. But if you want to put Bree aside, Victoria Saxton, I mean, she has just been phenomenal, especially from a defensive standpoint. And you guys get it. You look at the box score afterwards. yeah, Bree's been able to post back-to-back season high in points, 12 points in both his past games. But box scores aside, what they do and what they've done all season long, the box score is not always going to be. It's not always going to give them justice for what they've done in the game. So I would just keep an eye on what Victoria is able to do. Gamecock Ryan, what's up, everyone? Go Gamecocks, certainly. T, do you think Rivers gets more playing time because she plays more defense than Cook? I think at the end of the day, whoever's playing the best tonight, you go with. I think, I give credit to Coach Staley going to the bench early. Zaya is one of those players that we know that when she gets going, she can be hot, right? I mean, we saw back in the Sweet 16 Elite 8 matchups. I mean, one of the games, she drops 10 in the first quarter. Next game, she was a little bit slower. Then Destiny came on board quickly. So I think you have to see what she's able to do from a defensive standpoint more than anything. I mean, do I feel like this is going to be a low-scoring game? No. Do I feel like this is going to be one of those games that we saw earlier in the year with South Carolina, or earlier in the tournament when South Carolina heading into the Final Four was allowing just over 40 points, 41 points a game? But you certainly have to be able to get it done starting on the defensive end and be able to make things just as difficult as you can for someone like Paige and UConn. Jason, what matchup's the most important? Yep, that one right there, as I said. Paige and Paige and Bree. Yeah, see, I mean, look, is Paige 100%? No, but you know what? A game like this, she won the National Player of the Year award last year. I know Gamecock fans are tired of hearing this. That's something she wants now. She's back in her home state, grew up right down the street from here. She has a lot of family, a lot of support here in Minnesota. Shoot, she could be 50%. It really doesn't matter. This girl's going to go out and give everything she has tonight. Her leg could fall off, and I'm sure she's going to try to find a way to finish. You gotta treat it like Paige is 120% health wise tonight. Let's see, Veronica, go Gamecocks. Kevin, thanks, Alyssa. Yep, thank you again. If you guys just missed that, Gamecock Central alum and obviously USC alum Alyssa Lane hopped on earlier with us. We appreciate Alyssa joining us. Sherry, go Gamecocks. Jason, go Cox. Sherry, that's awesome. Welcome, so sweet. Rosa, go ladies. Mary Brown, go Gamecocks. Beat UConn. Gamecock Ryan, great to see all the sport out there. Nick, they're talking about Connecticut a lot on ESPN. I'd be lying to you. I really haven't been paying attention. If you guys are upset about that, and I get it, best way to stop that, win the game tonight, right? Marty, so proud of this team, no question. Travis Lee, Sean Miller there. I haven't seen him yet, Travis, but there is a nice steak joint down the street. I think it's called Manny's. Maybe he's over there. We'll check it out for you guys. Brandon Kuhn, let's go Gamecocks. We have friends. The Queens of college basketball. The Queens of college basketball. I'm sure you're trying to say the Queens of college basketball. Sarah, go Gamecocks. Brandon, let's go Cox. You're the Queens of college basketball. Travis Lee, I hope you shut Paige down. Not your average sports kid. This game is going to come down to Bree. No question. It is going to come down to Bree. Absolutely. Bobby Tucker, another brick in the house. Gone built. Peter, thoughts on Victoria having a good game? Peter, she needs to. She needs to. And I'm not saying she needs to put up even double digits in points. And we saw what she was able to do in the Elite Eight to be able to get South Carolina here when Aaliyah Boston's double-double streak came to an end. She posted a double-double herself. Victoria does not get the credit she deserves. She didn't get the credit in Greensboro. I felt like she got snubbed from being on that regional team for her performance, especially in that closer in that Elite Eight matchup. She has to play good defensively because if Bree goes to the bench to be able to catch them win and Paige is still out there on the court, I feel like Victoria has to be the one that picks up the slack. She has to be the one to slow down Paige. Todd, go Cox. Yep, here we go. Oh, what? It says, shoot. It says we're under 10 minutes away. It says 3 minutes from 7 o'clock local time, 8 Eastern, back in Columbia. I'm reading what my boss had to say. Wes Mitchell, you see what I mean? Okay. Making sure I didn't get in trouble. If you guys have any last-minute questions, let me know. Looks like we still have some extra time. I'd like to, I don't know if I can do this, but let's see if ESPN yells at me. Look at all the people here, though, to give you guys an idea. Good-sized crowd here, and I can't remember who asked me, but ticket prices about 10 minutes ago were $75, which means earlier in the day they're probably close to 100. And this stadium, I mean, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. The only thing I'm kind of bummed. Side note, being a Boston guy, I would have liked to see KD's number in the Raptors, but they take them all down, which I get. But I would have liked to see that. Maybe that's why they put me up. But this is where I was sitting last game, and I get it. See all the way up there, 229. I get it. Oh, that was the media overflow. And unfortunately, one of my buddies works for a San Francisco station. He's like, you can come here. I'm not watching the game. He's out for Stanford. So I was able to mooch on down. I'll take sitting down here. I'm petrified of heights. Football 12, what's up? I think we might sign off in a little bit. Unless you guys have any last minute questions, let me know. I'm mixing a water right now. Gamecock fan asks, if Boston starts slow, does the Final Four creep in and she becomes hesitant? I hope not. Need to feed her all night. I don't think so. And I don't think it's just player talk and we hear them say that they're not thinking about last season and how things ended for them against Stanford. I don't. Aaliyah has grown so much, and you got to think about it too, right? When you come in as a freshman and you're already getting compared to one of the greatest, not just Gamecocks, but one of the greatest college basketball players of all time in Asia Wilson, and you post a triple-double in your very first college game as a freshman, there's going to be pressure. So the fact that that's how things ended last season, you missed that basket, hey, it happens. It's part of sports, right? I think she's grown tremendously, not just from freshman year, but a lot from last season. And we've seen that. And she's become one of the faces of college basketball, right there with Paige Beckers. And with Paige not playing that much this year, and obviously Caitlin Clark out in Iowa, and what she means to her homeland as well, and what she means to people of color as well. And she's been able to connect in so many different ways. She's been put on a very high pedestal, but I think she's handled that pressure extremely well. So, hey, look, she has a slow start. You have four of the players in the court that need to pick it up. It's not just going to come down to Aaliyah Boston. If that's the case, going back to the Louisville game, South Carolina wouldn't have won. I mean, she was triple team at times, and she was smart enough to dish it out and let her teammates be able to get the job done. So I think ultimately, guys, what it comes down to is, yes, Aaliyah needs to have a big game because it obviously starts with Aaliyah from an offensive standpoint, but just from an offense as a whole, you got to have good guard play, like you mentioned. If you got to be able to protect the basketball, you got to finish your layups. And if you're able to have someone like Bree Vail do what she's done the last two games, having back-to-back games of scoring 12 points and tying season highs, that certainly helps as well. Peter, what you got? Any final bold predictions before tip-off? Oh, boy. Tell you what, my bold prediction will be the media party is going to be absolutely incredible, win or lose. Win or lose, I'm going to have a great night. No, I think I don't even know if it says prediction. Just something I'm looking at is these are two, and look, this is no disrespect against Gino. These are two of the best coaches. I mean, Gino, what she's been able to do, but Dawn Staley is coming in. She's the new talk of the town, right? I think what it's going to come down to is just halftime adjustments. When you have two coaches like this, what do they do at halftime? I mean, they know each other. They played each other the last couple of years. They played each other earlier in the season. What type of adjustments do they make? And the big question is this. At the end of the third quarter, if South Carolina does have a lead, how comfortable do you feel? What do you need to get to a point of feeling comfortable? We saw what happened against Kentucky. We saw what happened even in the semifinals in the SEC tournament. We know that this team has struggled to finish games once they've gotten into the fourth quarter, especially the last couple of weeks. So they need to be able to get to a point where they feel good, feel comfortable, and just leave no doubt. Do the smart things. Finish your layups. Protect the basketball. You hear that roar in the background. South Carolina has just took the court. UConn is on the opposite end. They're about to come out right now. So we're going to sign on out, guys. We appreciate you taking the time to watch us. Tell you what, if you haven't seen already, go onto my Twitter account or go on Gamecock Central. The line right now at Village Idiot Pizza is wrapped around, going all the way from where Divine Street is, of course, that's where Village is, going to the corner of Saluda Ave. We've seen, obviously, I mean, shoot, you guys have seen the video in the Final Four, me getting covered with beer when the men's team made it. When Jackie Bradley and Steve Pierce helped the Red Sox win the World Series there back in 2018, doing something that has never happened in Major League Baseball history. Guys going ALCS and then World Series MVP in the same year from the same college. We've seen some pretty amazing things at Village Idiot. So if you guys are back in Columbia, try going over to Village. Tell Brian you know me. Maybe he'll sneak on up there and get some extra spots. But hey, again, we appreciate all of you guys watching from back home. We know that obviously if we coming aboard at Gamecock Central back in October, digital and video is obviously new to you guys in terms of getting it at Gamecock Central. This is only the beginning. We will continue to give you more digital content. And we'll give you better Gamecock content than anywhere else. If they win tonight, we will have some good stuff. I mean, there's no way to put it. So sit back, enjoy the game. Be sure to follow along in the Gamecock Central Insider Forum with us. If you have any questions, Chris Wilbon and I don't know where Chris is. Chris got better seats. He must be sitting courtside. He must know someone. Be sure to follow along, ask questions. We'll give you guys any insight that you might not be able to see from a TV perspective back at home as we watch here at the Target Center. So enjoy the game, guys. We'll talk to you guys after the game.